Okay, we are back to the next phase of this our discussion on bringing folks to Christ. We need to bring people to Christ in our workplaces, in our environment where we operate every day. We are talking about Fellowship of Companies for Christ Incorporated. And I'm glad and I'm lucky to say that, to be face to face with the area leader, and that is Mr. Paul, a brother called Brother Paul Jew. By the way, when you talk about Kim Jew, everybody knows about Kim Jew. He's one of the directors of Kim Jew Photography. Paul, I want to welcome you to the show, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I think as I said earlier in the other segment, I never heard about FCC. And here you are, the area leader. Can you tell us about FCC?
Sure.
Tell us fundamentally what is it about?
Well, FCCI was started about 35 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia.
Really? 35?
Yes. And it was really started by a group of business owners who were just asking the question, there's got to be more to our business than just making a profit. And they asked the question, what would Jesus do if he were running the business? And they got together, and that's how FCCI started. And it's since exploded. God has been working powerfully in the marketplace through FCCI. It's reaching into over 80 nations through the material on the website. And there are groups worldwide, as Reed was mentioning, that meet on a weekly basis. And there's an international conference that meets once a year that draws usually company owners from over 40 nations attending the international conference. Next month, there'll be an international conference in Amelia Island, Florida.
Where? Oh,
in Amelia Island, Florida, near Jacksonville.
Wow. Now, how did you get involved? You know, I know that. Who made contact with you to get involved in
Sure. Well, you know, it was about 14 years ago. Our business was really struggling through a transition of switching from film to digital technology.
Yeah.
And we were going through some real severe trials. And as a result, when I was sitting in church one day and I said I needed some more boost, so I attended a men's Bible study on a Tuesday night.
In the church?
In the church, at my church, Grace Church here in town. And one of the leaders there was friends with the person who started FCCI here in Albuquerque by the name of Bill Money.
Oh.
And so I joined his fellowship group, and I've been coming ever since.
Wow. My God. You know, viewers, again, I want to let you know that, you know, in the Bible, we have, or rather, the Bible is replete with all kinds of professionals who are serving God. You know, let's just look at even Paul the Apostle. Paul was one of the Sanhedrins. You know, he was an accomplished lawyer, because we heard how he, you know, he was at the feet of the master called Gamaliel, who was very renowned in those days in the laws of the Sanhedrin. So Paul learned so many things from this man. And with that kind of zeal, he began to, you know, work the works of the Sanhedrin by persecuting the church. Now the day came, he has to abandon that profession and then hooked on to Christ. But then he never abandoned something, because we heard that Paul was also a tent maker. So he was doing stuff with his hands and, you know, serving God. Mr. Ju, let me just ask you, what is the overall mission or the mandate of FCC?
Well, the mission of FCCI is to equip and encourage business owners and business leaders to run their companies and their personal lives according to biblical principles.
As unto God.
Correct. As unto God, according to biblical principles. So really, FCCI is, you know, there are a lot of business groups that are about networking and building your business and things of that nature. FCCI is about kingdom building. How can you use your company as a platform for ministry to build the kingdom of God? So that is really what FCCI is about. It's to equip and encourage people on how to use biblical principles in order to do that.
You know, we know in business people always say dog eat dog. But I think being a Christian in business will make a difference. There's going to be a palpable sense of discipline and, you know, a verity being a Christian doing. I guess this is the kind of thing that you learn, you know, the principles of business based on the Bible.
Correct. And one thing I could say about FCCI, it has the richest library of material on this topic about how do you bring Christ into the workplace. The conferences have been over 30 years in the making. That's where so much of the great speakers that have been brought into the conference over the years. So there's been a ton of great content that has been produced on behalf of FCCI on how do you practically bring Christ into the workplace.
Please don't go away. We're coming right back. We still have a lot to discuss on this topic. Stay tuned.